Yan, so good morning po sa lahat. Um, okay. We will start at 9:05 this morning. Welcome po sa ating webinar for today entitled Basics of Events Management. Good morning po sa lahat. Ako po si Victor Andre Factor from Internal Audit Services Unit and welcome po kayo ngayong umaga para sa ating webinar. Okay. So, before we start our webinar, may I request everyone to be in silence for our opening prayer.
Let's put ourselves in the holy presence of the Lord. Let's pray.
May nakikita po ba? Wala. Wait lang.
Let's put ourselves in the holy presence of the Lord. Let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for all the blessings you have bestowed upon us. We are truly grateful for them. Thank you for allowing us today to meet and share our knowledge and time with one another in this seminar. May you extend your divine wisdom to our speaker so that he will be able to impart effectively his God-given knowledge to all of us. May he be blessed as he continues to bring his expertise to people who need them. Bless the participants as well so that they would be able to glean the vital information from this activity. May you bestow your blessings after this seminar, so that we may go out and spread what we learned in the spirit of your love and generosity. May we realize this activity should glorify your name. Amen.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas. Sa pinig ko ay nangay, pag-ibig ang kuya ka ng pag-ibig, sa manlulubig, ipagpasisigil sa dalaga, Pilipinas, sa namin mo, Pilipinas, nakakawin sa pagkayo binababal, sa Pilipinas, ay karagin, Ikarang yan kailan ang hindi magpipili. Pagkakong nagpagsing ka, kulay na akin sa pilis mo. Ang hindi ko hayaan na ang akin at pagkakay ko ang isa'y.
Bukas ng silangan sa puso ng kapuluan, sa aking mong kagandahan, dugyan ka ng kapayapaan. Ba't tayong nagkagitingan, sipat ay kagulungan, lagi mahali ka, di ba gagabi kanino man, sa kuntigan ko'y lukas mo, upang di sumuko kagandahan ng kalikasan mo, isisigaw ko sa buong mundo. O Diyongan, pinakamamahal ng bayan. O Diyongan, taglay mo'y liwanag. O Diyongan, hatid mo'y ligaya. Sa tabing dagat, hukang iway-iway mo'y masisilayan. Sa hirap ng panahon, sa pagsubok babangon, hindi susuko, mananatiling nakatayo. Nakaukit mong kasaysayan, simbolo ng katitingan, ukay sarap sambitin bawat tula at awit ng pag-ibig. Sa tutigan ko'y lakas mo, upang di sumuko kagandahan ng kalikasan mo, isisigaw ko sa buong mundo. O Diyumano no kay tatan, taglay mo'y sirat ng pag-asa. Sa sipag mo tiyaga, larawan kang hindi ko pa. Sanda ko manitiwan, mananatiling tapat sa bayan. Patuloy ka, taas mo, isigaw ko yung naroon ka. O Diyongan, pinakamamahal kong bayan. O Diyongan, taglay mo'y liwanag. O Diyongan, hatid mo'y ligaya. Sa tabing dagat, bukang iway-iway mo'y masisilayan. Mabuhay ka, O Diyongan.
Ayan. So, today magkakaroon po tayo ng 2-hour webinar titled Basics of Events Management. Ayan. Okay, so bago po tayo magsimula, tinatawagan ko po ang ating internal auditor, Mr. Ivan John Ferriol, for his opening welcome remarks. Yan, sir.
Hello, good morning. Narinig naman ba ako? Hello?
Yes, sir. Narinig po.
Sige. Magandang umaga sa inyo lahat. Kung saan man kayo ngayon, welcome sa ating knowledge sharing activity patungkol sa event management. Extend namin ang activity na ito outside the internal audit team. Binuksan namin to sa inyo, sa bawat offices, para magamit din ninyo ito at magamit sa inyong opisina, sa activities ng buong munisipyo, or kahit pag may activities kayo sa mga kliyente or sa community. So tayo po ay makinig, maging bukas ang ating isipan at i-apply ang mga ito. So maraming salamat po. Good morning po.
Thank you so much, Sir Ivan. So ayan, bago natin i-introduce ang ating speaker, pwede po ba tayong mag-on cam lahat? Sa lahat po ng participants, pwede po ba tayong mag-on cam? Para makita naman natin yung mga mukha ninyong lahat. Ayan. Okay.
Ano muna yung share screen? Tanggalin mo muna.
Okay pa.
Sige.
So bago tayo magsimula, mag-photo op muna tayo, no, para kumpleto tayo simula hanggang huli. Ayan, sina Ma'am Yoli, Ma'am Erlinda, Office of the Vice Mayor, Ma'am Rodays. Andito rin ang Municipal Agriculture's Office, ang Public Library. Ayan, ready na po kayo for our photo op. Picture po muna tayo. Ayan. Sige po. 1, 2, 3. Isa pa po. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Thank you so much. Ayan, let us now proceed po sa ating introduction of our speaker for today. Ayan, tinatawagan ko po ulit si Sir Ivan Janferio to introduce our speaker for today's webinar. Sir?
Hello po ulit. Ayan. So, papakilala ko ang speaker natin. So, our speaker today finished her Master's in Science in Hospitality Management and is currently working on her doctoral dissertation in Hospitality Management at Philippine Women's University. She is a certified guest service professional by the American Hotel and Lodging Educational Institution, a licensed professional teacher, has various certificates such as Events Management NC3. She was also a school head in one of the TESDA schools in Quezon City and also became a program head in different schools in Metro Manila. Also, she manages many events as an event stylist. She has 12 years of experience in the academy, and one of the subjects she teaches in college is event management. Our speaker is also the Hospitality Management Chairperson of the Hospitality Management Undergraduate Program at Rondon State University and serves as the college organization's advisor. Let us welcome Ma'am Krishna Vicente. So let us welcome her po using our clap emoji in the chat box. Hello po Ma'am Krishna.
Hello
Good
po.
morning
Good
po.
morning.
Hello ma'am.
Hello po.
Proceed na po ba tayo ma'am?
Yes po, yes po. Okay, sir, thank you very much for your introduction. Again, good morning, everyone. I am Chris, and I'll be discussing about the basic of event management. To start with, let us first define what is event management. Next slide, please. So according to Indeed, that it is the process of organizing and hosting events, including personal and corporate events. According to about.com, that the process beyond planning, executing, and evaluating corporate, association, nonprofit, government, and social events. And according to businessacademy.com, that it is coordination, running, and planning of all the people, teams, and features that come together to create every kind of event. Now, if we're going to break down this words, we can have two different concepts. The event is referring to meetings, incentives, conventions, conferences, exhibits, and other special occasions. Meanwhile, management is the process, or it is a science and art of managing people to work together to implement and execute the plan to achieve the goals and objectives of the organization. Now, it's very important also that we understand and understand and know the basic of event management, because it plays a vital role in making your success of your event, especially when you're planning an event. Like, for instance, we have a seminar, and then we have a seminar that that we're going to conduct. If there is no proper planning, it will be chaotic. Ibig sabihin, the operation of the events will not run smoothly. So it's very important that we understand the role of a basic of event management. Like for example, also na may different types of events na we consider, especially when we're working in the local government unit. What are the events that could possibly that we can conduct? Like for example, are we going to make a seminar? Are we going to make a training? Are we going to make a workshop? Are we going to make conferences? Are we make a convention? Are we making conventions? And then what if our budget is so tight? What are the strategies that we can do? And possibly, if we're in the conducting of an event, what are the possible alternative course of actions, which is it's a part of the planning of an event. Kaya it's very important also na dapat talaga maintindihan natin what are the fundamentals in making an event. Hindi lang siya yung gawa-gawa na event, or ay okay, sige gawa tayo ng seminar, ganito ganyan. And then what will happen next? So it's very important talaga na the concepts, the process, that we understand truly the vital role of event management. So next slide please. How to plan your event. I'll be showing you the steps on how to plan an event. Next slide, please. Thank you. The step one is develop your event's goals and objectives. Now, it's very important that we set our goals and objectives. Goals is referring to intangible measurement, and objectives, it refers to tangible measurement. It can be measured in numbers. For example, your goal is to have or to promote a customer quality service. Now, your objective will might as well as um, to limit the time, the waiting time of the customer within 1 minute. So ibig sabihin, the goal is into a broader scope. Ang objectives naman, it is the actions on what will you do to achieve your goal. So again, it's very important also that we have this one along the plan, na magkaroon tayo ng goals and objectives, because it will tell us as anong gagawin natin, anong dapat natin gawin, at what is our organization will be positioned. So ganito dapat ang gagawin natin when we do our objectives. It should be smart. It should be specific, measurable, agreed, realistic, and time. Specific, dapat particular kasi event and particular aspects of it. Ibig sabihin nun, dapat alam mo yung mga actions na kailangan mong gawin in order to achieve your goals. And then measurable, again, objectives should be measured tangibly into tangible. So ibig sabihin, you have to express it in numbers and quantities. And then agreed, make sure that all your team members know the objectives. Laging dapat na alam ng team members mo or part ng organization kung ano dapat nilang gawin. What are the goals and objectives of your organization? Kasi it will focus on certain directions. Kahit naman whether it is not event management, even within any type of organization, dapat talaga alam ng tao or ng staff or even the employees or team members kung ano ba talaga ang objectives, goals and objectives ng organization. Dapat it is well versed, well explained, at saka well known ng mga team members natin. And then realistic, set objectives the organizing team can realistically achieve. For instance, sabi natin, oh, gagawa tayo ng seminar, ganito, ganyan. Tapos, kailan ang seminar? Bukas. So, it could be impossible to do. So, dapat, kailangan natin, we have to plan it ahead of time. So, dapat ang gagawin natin, we do things realistically. Like, for example, we do have tight budget. Hindi talaga natin kaya yung mag-accommodate ng maraming tao, maraming participants. So, ganito ang gagawin natin. So, we have to be realistic with the numbers, with the funds, and then yung mga impossible things talaga, huwag na nating ilagay. So, that's why it's very important na we know when we're going to develop our goals and objectives, it should be into realistic and set a time scale for achievement of the objectives. Again, the objectives should be into numbers and should be measurable. Ngayon, when it comes to time, dapat alam natin kung kailan natin dapat ma-achieve yung goals at yung objectives natin. So it's very important that we have this kind of timetable para alam natin, okay, dapat sa week 1 tapos na natin yung documentation. Week 2 dapat nakausap na natin yung mga vendors or suppliers. Dapat yung week 3 dapat nakahanap na tayo ng speakers. Ganito ganyan and so forth and so on and so forth. Dapat lahat meron tayong timeline na sinusundan because dito natin makikita what are the tasks that are completed and what are the tasks that not yet completed. So next slide please. So these are the things to remember when you're doing your goals and objectives when it comes to event management planning. So what type of event are you going to conduct? So gagawa ba tayo ng seminar? Are we going to have a workshop? Are we going to have conferences? Are we going to have trainings? It all depends. Now, what do you want your event to achieve? What's your event's reason for existing? Who is your target audience? How many people will attend? Where is the event being held? When is your event? For example, I'll be giving you an example too. Like, within the organization, example lang po, within the organization, nalaman natin based on TNA, training needs analysis, na may mga empleyado pala tayo na hindi marunong ng Microsoft Excel or hindi pa sila ganun ka-competent when it comes to using Microsoft Excel. So, based on the TNA results, okay, meron pala tayo, we have 20 employees. Then it says that 10 doon ay hindi marunong gumamit or they do not have proper knowledge or being competent when it comes in using Microsoft Excel. So ang gagawin natin, so what type of event are you going to conduct? So based on the results of the TNA, okay, are we going to have a training? Are we going to have a seminar? Are we going to have a workshop? So it depende yun po kung ano yung type ng event ang gagawin nyo. Pero based pa rin po yan sa reason kung bakit kayo gagawa ng event. Kung ang result po ng TNA natin ay nagsasabi na there are 10 employees that are not yet competent when it comes to using Microsoft Excel, I think seminar is not even applicable. So ibig sabihin, para maturuan natin sila on how to use Microsoft Excel, kailangan nila ng hands-on training. So ibig sabihin, ang event na gagawin natin para sa kanila ay training. So what do you want your event to achieve? Of course, for the participants to learn or to be competent at the end of the training. So who is your target audience? So based on the results of TNA na 10 ang empleyado na hindi competent pagdating sa paggamit ng Microsoft Excel, so syempre sila yung gagawin nating target audience because they are the one who needs it. Hindi na yung 10 na nagsasabi na competent sila. Kasi it will be a waste of time for those 10 na magkakaroon pa sila ng Microsoft Excel 101 kasi nga they are already knowledgeable with it. And then where is the event being held? Saan mo ba gagawin ng training mo? Is it will be on site or in your venue? Can your office accommodate this kind of training? Do you have facilities or do you have enough resources for your training? So nakadepende yan on the assessment of the venue. If hindi, possible you can have offsite. You can go to another venue that can accommodate the needs of your event. And when is your event? So you have to focus or you have to set the right date for your event. So basically when it comes to a big event, usually ang ginagawa natin 6 to 12 months ang preparation natin. Pero pag mga maliliit lang naman, we are having a small group participants, okay na yung mga 3 months, 4 months. It's usually that's the planning timeline. So yun po. Next. And then the common types of events. These are the common types of events that could be possible related to your offices. That we can have meetings, incentives, conferences, exhibits, and other occasions. Next, please. Now, meetings, this is very common kasi meetings are less formal and casual than conferences. And then it can last for a few hours. And it can be held in offices, home, or any given space. And it can be sudden and maybe between two people. So meetings are usually, ito yung ginagawa natin when it comes to offices. It is still a type of event because it's still a gathering, ganito pa rin siya, yung gathering natin na, oh, we're going to talk certain things, topics, and issues that we're going to talk about, to address with. So, yan. So, meetings are less formal. Actually, yung meetings, kahit saan mo naman yan pwede, basta may given space, we can do meetings. So, it's possible, pwede ka mag-meeting ng dalawa lang eh. 'Di ba? Pwede ka lang, you can conduct meetings even you are two. Meetings of ano. And it does not need a really um, mahabang proseso pa, or preparation or planning to have a meeting. Kung minsan nga we receive short notice, 'di ba? When we have our meetings. Next. Conferences. Now, conferences are more formal than meetings, can be held over a span of days, usually held in hotels and conference halls, pre-planned, have a large number of participants. Now, compared to meetings, syempre, conferences has a lot of number of participants. It could usually in conferences ginagawa yan sa mga event place, like for example, you can have it in hotels, like for conference halls. That's example of venue for conferences. And then, hindi siya yung one day lang na pinaplano. Usually, ito yung sinasabi natin na 6 to 12 months. Bakit ganun katagal? Because some conferences have this kind of invitation. Kasi yung conferences, might be, it could be regional, national, or even international. So medyo mahirap tayo mag-invite ng mga participants. Hindi naman yung pag-send natin ng letters or invitation letters through email or through mail ay makaka-respond sila agad. Because for example, katulad natin sa government agencies, mahirap I don't know po, medyo maano yung pag-ano ng budget when it comes to attending conferences kasi ang dami pang dadaanan na process na you have to secure if there is a budget, if there is yung mga letters pa na kailangan natin na ibigay for the heads, na permits, documentations, ang dami pang dapat na hintayin, lalo na pag budget. Okay lang sana kung may pera ka, ikaw muna mag-aabono, reimbursement, so pwede yon. Pero pag ganito na conferences, that's why it's very important also, lalo na kasi ang conferences, it needs a lot, it has a large number of participant. Larger scale ang tinitingnan natin dito. It could have 100 to 500, 2,000, to thousands. Yan, depende po yan sa conferences na a-attenda natin. So kaya kailangan siya pre-planned and 6 to 12 months. And also, pag mga conferences na ganito po, nagkakaroon tayo ng tie-ups, linkages, or partnerships na tinatawag. So naghahanap tayo ng mga possible partners natin na the same ang role nila or the same ang kanilang team with our goals and objectives of our events. So that's conferences po. Next. So pagdating po ng seminar and conferences, ano ang pinagkaiba? What are the differences of seminars and conferences? Seminar is a form of academic instruction that brings together a small group of people to learn about a specific subject. While conference is a formal meeting whose typical aims are discussion, problem solving, and consultation. Yung seminars naman are conducted in one day, though they can be recurrent, and then it can last the conference can last for several days. And then seminars are less formal than conference. Then conference is a formal meeting, and then discussion is a key feature in seminar. In some conferences, discussion are not allowed. So dito po sa conferences, if you're going back with the differences of these two type of event, yung seminar po, we can have it with 1 day or 2 days. But the conferences, well, it will last for 3 days, 4 days. Yun, maximum na siguro yung 5 days na conferences. But this one, with the idea of seminar, it's academic instruction po na it needs a little or small group lang ang kailangan. Possible we can have the seminar by 20, 50, 60, or 80, or masyado ng marami nga po yung 100. Pagdating naman sa conferences, we're talking about hundreds to thousands. Ganyan kalaki ang scale ng conferences. And then, pag sa seminar, hindi naman kailangan na you conduct it, or yung venue, kailangan hotel, kailangan in a big bongga na hall. Ang conferences, it needs a large scale or large scope of venue kasi nga large ang target audience natin. So ganun po ang differences niya. So next please. Training and workshop. Anong pinagkaiba ng training and workshop sa seminar? Si training and workshop, they need output. We are expecting the participants to have output after whether it is training or after the workshop. Now, the training is to develop skills. Workshop, it provides information and exchanging ideas. And then training, it needs more time and cost. And then workshop can be performed in less time and less cost. And then training provide knowledge, direction, and instruction, while workshop provides information only. And then training, it is a directive in nature. Workshop, it is suggestive in nature. And then training, it is less flexible, while workshop is more flexible. Now, let's go back with the example na binigay ko po kanina when it comes to TNA results na sinabi natin po kanina na can we go back with the training and ano po, the last slide please. Yan. So yun, pag sinabi po natin kanina na yung TNA results, na nasabi natin kanina na, okay, there are 10 people or 10 staff that are not good in using Microsoft Excel. Kaya nga sabi ko kanina, training ang applicable compared sa seminar or compared sa workshop. Kasi ang training, kailangan niya ma-develop yung skills. Ang workshop naman, katulad example po nito, we do have a workshop when it comes to GUIDE program so we invited speakers coming from different SUCs para mag-share ng kanilang mga GUIDE programs na ini-implement nila in their schools. Yan. So ibig sabihin, they're just providing us informations and exchanging ideas. So nagsasabi sila, alam niyo ba, we have this kind of breastfeeding station sa university namin. But it does not mean na it is directive. Kailangan niyo magkaroon ng breastfeeding station din sa SUC nyo. So it's not like that. It's a workshop. So dun sa workshop namin, na meron kaming invited nga po na mga GAD directors and different SUCs. So they're sharing their programs, GAD programs, na ini-implement nila when it comes to policies, curriculum, adapting GAD programs with or their policies with our curriculum, and then other pa is with what are the things that you can do to promote GAD equality, or how can you use GAD issues or GAD concerns when it comes to research and extension. So that is only suggestive. Pero pagdating po sa training, doon kat babalikan natin yung example natin kanina na yung 10 nating empleyado, they're not good in using Microsoft Excel. So they have this kind of training module na kailangan nilang tapusin. They cannot go with the next step unless they're finished with the training module 1. So hindi sila pwede pumunta ng training module 2 kasi nga hindi nga nila tapos yung training module 1. Again, so kailangan it is a directive in nature. So kasi nga hindi mo makukuha yung goals mo or hindi mo makukuha yung objectives mo kapag hindi nila natapos or they did not complete the task with the training modules. So yun po ang pinagkaiba ng training and workshop. Ang less flexible po ang training when it comes to output kasi nga whether you like it or not, you have to finish the training. Kasi nga training yan. So, hindi katulad ng workshop, yung output mo, pwede mo yan, okay, sige, na-try nyo po ba yun when you do have workshop? Tapos merong output na sinasabi. Sabi, hindi naman compulsory na ipasa mo agad yung output mo, di ba? Hindi naman. So, pwede ngang, kahit hindi pa tapos yung output mo, pwede mong i-present eh. Di ba? So, sasabihin mo lang na, we have not yet finished our output. So, possible po, ipipresent namin to sa mga directors namin or sa deans namin or sa heads namin, ganito, ganyan. That's the difference between the flexibility of training and workshop. Next po, convention versus conference. Convention is a large meeting of people to talk about their shared work, common interest, or to make decision as a group. That is convention. Pero yung conference po, again, it's a formal meeting whose typical aims are discussion, problem solving, and consultations. Convention is less formal and lighthearted than conference. Conference is more formal than convention. And then participants are encouraged to discuss and share their thoughts. And then conference is it's the speaker who mainly share their thoughts, and then discussion is a key feature in convention, while the conference expert leaders are invited to discuss. So ibig sabihin, pag convention, you are free to share your knowledge, you can have your discussions. Yung mga participants, they can have share knowledge, share their common interest with certain things regarding to the topics that are presented with the convention. While conference, kung makikita nyo, speaker lang po ang nagsasalita. Usually, pag nagkakaroon lang ng discussion, minimal lang yan yung mga open forum na tinatawag. So, they giving short time for kung meron mang questions about anything, about the topic. So, minimal lang po yun. So, hindi po tinatanong ko ano ang naramdaman hindi po tinatanong ko ano po yung experience ng participants during the conference. Only the speakers are allowed to share their thoughts and expertise. Yun po. Next. Step 2. Nasa step 2 po tayo. Set an event budget. So identify what are the expenses will be. If you conducted similar events, utilize and make adjustments if needed for a baseline. So it's very important po now when you're making an event or when you're planning an event, kailangan alam natin kung how much is our budget. Kasi doon tayo doon tayo mag-run ng expenses natin. Mamaya kasi mag-target tayo ng 100 participants with free food, full board meal. Ibig sabihin we have AM snacks, lunch, and PM. Tapos, ang budget lang pala natin 20,000. So, ang liit. Ang liit. Kasi tapos magre-rent pa tayo ng venue. So, medyo mahirap po yun. That's why it's very important na alamin natin kung magkano yung budget na meron tayo to conduct our event. Kasi nga, ito yung magre-run ng the whole event natin. Especially to our offices, lalo na po sa local government unit, na talagang ang paggawa ng event, any type of events ay galing mismo sa budget natin, sa budget ng office natin. So, ganun po ang ginagawa natin. Good thing that we do have this kind of new platform, digital platform, yung tinatawag po natin na webinar, hybrid event po ang tawag natin dito, kung saan we do not need lot of expenses. Like for example, need na po natin kailangan mag-rent ng venue. All we need is internet, diba? Internet coming from our offices. No need for us to put another expenses for this kind of event. So, ganun po dapat maintindihan natin na kailangan po natin malaman kung magkano ang budget natin at magkano ang budget natin so we can plan properly. Next, please. So these are the common expenses na kino-consider natin when it comes to planning our event. Na like food, yan. Kuminsan, syempre, lalo na pag local government unit ang gumawa ng event, syempre ang mga participants natin, yung mga whether it coming from yung mga ano natin, mga from barangays, ganito ganyan. So kailangan natin parang laging kailangan natin magpamerienda, no? Pag when we're in the offices, kailangan laging nasa budget natin ang pagkain. So it's very important to consider the expenses of food as well. And then if we do need to have a offsite venue, are we going to rent? So we're going to consider the expense of the venue. Yan ang titingnan natin. And then staff. The staff or even the speakers or even other people na kailangan natin i-hire with our event. So kailangan natin matingnan, ma-check of the availability of our funds or our budget. How much will be our labor expense for this kind of event. Now, decorations. Sometimes we do such things like decorations. Kahit nga tarpaulin po, expense pa rin yan, di ba po? So, dapat tinitingnan natin yung mga ganun. Kasi mamaya, magpagawa tayo ng tarpaulin, tapos wala naman pala sa budget, saan po tayo kukuha nun? So, it's very important that we consider this kind of expenses. And even miscellaneous. Miscellaneous are those other expenses na hindi natin nakita, na hindi natin na-expect or na-forecast. So, those are the other expenses. And marami pa po, depende po yun sa type of event na gagawin niyo po. So, next please. We have this step 3. Organize your team. A structure of accountability is established and duties are kept from becoming neglected by assigning specific roles to team members. So it's very important po to assign tasks specifically. Kasi nga po, ito po yung sinasabi natin ng sense of accountability. Kailangan alam natin kung sino ang person in charge sa mga certain, like for example, we are going to have committees. So, dapat alam natin kung sino ang mag-handle sa mga tao natin for certain committees. Like for example, we have this kind of hospitality committee. We do also have the logistics. We do have also other things. So, alam natin kung sino or documentations. So, regarding to permits and etc. So alam natin who is accountable with this task. Lalo na pag magcha-checklist na tayo. O bakit hindi natapos to? O tawagin si ano. So alam natin kung sino yung tatawagin. And then alam natin kung sino yung dapat mag-ayos ng magkaroon ng remedy with this concerns. And then ang ano rin po natin dito is when you are going to assign your task to your people, make sure na knowledgeable yung tao for this part. Kasi it's very, rin po, na mag-a-assign tayo ng tao na wala naman pala siyang proper knowledge when it comes to that kind of task. So hindi po yun yung time na para aralin niya yun. Lalo na pag short term lang yung planning. Hindi yun yung time. Lalo po hindi naman po tayo lahat nasa event management business. So it's very hard po, lalo na pag mga sa part natin na sa local government unit na wala pang knowledge about that, na yung iba po, hindi naman lahat, kasi yung iba naman magagaling talaga maggawa ng event po. So, yung ibig ko sabihin, it's not the time, lalo pag short term po yung planning, it's not the time to assign task doon sa walang no knowledge at all. So, pwede po siyang under nung taong with knowledge para siya naman na magte-train. That person will directly command yung taong gusto nyong i-train. So, train lang tayo like a domino effect. So, iti-train kita, iti-train mo siya hanggang maging okay at training. So, yun lang po. Re-echo ng training. So, ganun lang po. And then next, so, organize your team. Katulad po ng sinabi ko kanina, delegate positively. So, pag nagbigay po tayo ng delegations, ng task, dapat in a positive way. Dapat marunong tayo, when we're in the part of the organization, lalo na po yung mga heads, especially when you are heads or coordinators or when you're in the middle management, dapat we know how to handle things or we know how to delegate tasks positively. So yun, dapat pag magbibigay ka nga ng tinapay, dapat masaya kang magbibigay ng tinapay. Kasi ang sama naman, pag nakasimangot ka, gusto mo, tapos nakasimangot ka, ang hirap tanggapin, di ba? So the same thought lang then when it comes to task. Dapat masaya kang ibibigay yung task. O, ikaw naka-assign dito, ha? Kasi ikaw magaling ka dito, ganito, ganyan. So that's the form of delegating positively. So set clear goals and objectives. So kailangan po again, let's go back with the step 1 po na dapat po agreed. The agreed one is dapat alam ng mga team members natin kung ano yung goals and objectives ng event natin. So kasi yun yung compass and directions natin to achieve the success of the event. And then assign the right task to the right people. Yun po yung sinasabi ko kanina na it's not the time for a person to learn about it. Parang dapat mag-assign ka muna ng tao na marunong talaga doon, tapos hayaan mo yung isa na magturo po ng isa. Pero the next time around, marunong na po silang lahat. So it's simply of mentoring po ang tawag natin doon. Then get suggestions from your team, and if possible, set up a meeting. So as in the middle management po or even the top management, a good leader can listen. 'Di ba po, pag kailangan din po minsan makinig tayo sa mga suggestions ng ating mga team members kasi it's very important. Every suggestions, every comments can be insightful. That's what planning do. We gather people out, we give them time for their comments and suggestions, and then ganun magplano. So pero hindi naman lahat ng suggestions we are trying to put it on together. Like for example, we get the best suggestions that is applicable to our plan. And then communicate constantly. So from every now and then, you have to communicate with your team. So if it is a large team, dun ka lang sa mga coordinators. If you're the head po, dun ka lang po sa coordinators makikipag-coordinate. No need for you to go beyond of the people lower than the coordinators. Kasi dahil nga din po, ganun din naman pong gagawin ni coordinator. Si coordinator naman po ang directly pupunta sa personnel na sa ilalim niya. So ganun po when it comes to hierarchy of organizational chart. No need for the top management po na or middle management na directly pa pumunta sa mga sa ibang members po. So you can directly communicate with the coordinators. And the coordinators, pag tayo naman po yung mga coordinators, every now and then tatanungin natin yung mga team members, how's the venue? Na-check mo na ba? Okay na ba? Yung ganito, ganyan. So ganun po ang pag-assign natin or pag-organize natin ng team. Next please. So this is an example po of organizational chart. So kung makikita nyo, we have these are the committees na pwede natin i-consider. Pwede naman natin tanggalin yung iba kung hindi applicable. So depende po yan sa kung ano po ang gusto nyong committee na ilagay. So we have merchandising committee, sales team, giveaways, outfitting of volunteers, promotion, of officials coordinator, hospitality coordinator, program co-coordinator, venue coordinator, and equipment coordinator. Now, this is very important po na gumawa tayo ng mga committees para we can divide the group accordingly. So para wala din tayong ma-miss na mga important things. Like for example, we have this kind of hospitality coordinator, katulad po ng mga sa foods, yung catering po, yun po yung foods, sponsors, if you don't have sponsors, and if we are tight of budget, actually, yung iba pong local government unit, kumukuha din po sila ng external partnerships. So ibig sabihin po nun, they have inviting people or sponsorship po para makatulong po sa budget, paggawa ng event, pag-promote ng event, and even not only in financially din po yan eh. So yun po. And then program coordinator, yan. So yun po sila bahala sa mga when it comes to the program flow, the venue coordinator, it's very important na meron tayong venue coordinator kasi sila na po bahala sa lahat-lahat, lalo na po pag off-site. Kasi kailangan natin i-check lahat eh. We have to check the chairs. If it is classroom type po, no need na po ng mga tables kasi nga classroom or a seminar type, yun yung mga o theater type po na tinatawag. Ang theater type, no need na po ng tables yan. Pero yung classroom type po, yun po yung may mga kailangan ng tables. Yung may table sa harap. Yun po yung mga classroom type. Pero pag mga theater po, yun lang po yung mga upuan. Yung usually nakikita natin sa seminar. That is the type of seating arrangement, theater type, ano po natin setup. So, equipment coordinator. So, pag meron po tayong malalaking event, like for example, we need sound system. So, siya po makikipag-coordinate with the sound system. So ano po ba ang kailangan natin? Kailangan po ba natin ng extra lights? Kailangan po ba natin ng malalaking speakers? Do we need like this, like that? And then the transportation of the equipment. Kung although on some vendors po, nag-additional na lang po tayo, 'di ba? Kasama na rin sa services nila yung transportation of equipment. Pero sometimes, kung minsan po pag tayo magre-rent na lang ng mga kunwari speakers, we rent speakers like that. So paano yung transport po nun? So that's something to do with that. So yun po. And then promotion coordinator. Like for example po when we're handling or we're going to plan an event, especially when it comes to fiesta. Example lang po, when it comes to fiesta or festival, how do we promote this event? So, kailangan po natin ng marketing strategies or marketing strategies or marketing people na mag-handle ng mga ganitong promotions sa whether we use social platforms, are we going to use tarpaulins, are we going to advertise it? So, depende po yan sa event planning natin. So, next please. This one is also another example of organizational chart. This one is a simpler. Now, they have event coordinator, we have program coordinator, we have marketing coordinator, we have hospitality coordinator, and we have merchandising coordinator. This one is just in a small committee lang po. Next. Now, step 4, we have select date and venue. Now, it is better to select the date and venue of your event ahead of time. And date and venue can affect the success of or the failure of an event. So, it's very important po kung kailan po tayo magpa-plot ng date at saan tayo maggagawa ng venue. Paulit-ulit ko po kanina sinasabi na when you're going to select a venue, tingnan natin if on-site, kaya ba siya accommodate natin within the office or kaya ba natin siyang gawin with the facility in the local government unit? Do we have enough resources or equipment na at ease yung mga participants natin? Do we need proper ventilation? Do we need something else? Like for example, do we need dimensions when it comes to events, event place or event venue? So yun po yung mga consider natin. Tapos, kailan kaya tayo dapat gumawa ng trainings and seminars? Kailan kaya tayo what date do we need to set our event? What date kaya ang possible? At anong araw ng linggo ang magandang gumawa ng event? Is it on Monday or is it on weekends? Yun ba ang kailangan natin gawin when it comes to setting the date of our trainings or any type of events like trainings, seminars, workshops? So nakadepende po yun. Dapat we have to set it properly, the date, and we have to look for a proper venue. So next please. Tips in selecting your date. Yeah, consider the time of year. So when it comes to selecting the time of year, it means that tingnan po natin what are the months na paulan, binabagyo. Mamaya kasi ilagay natin yung workshop natin, ilagay natin yung event natin sa umuulan na panahon. So parang yung rainy season na tinatawag natin. So it's not even applicable. Lalo na, buti na nga lang, meron tayong mga ganito, hybrid webinar na hindi na natin kailangan pumunta sa venue. Ito na lang, we can have it we can have the conversation, we can have the discussion, the seminar, whether we are in office or whether we are at home. So we can do that. So pero one of the tips in selecting nga po your date is consider the time of the year. Yan, wag din po natin ilalagay ng yung katulad yan, meron po dito ng mga holidays, yan. Wag po natin ilalagay yung ganung mga dates when we're going to have events. Now, avoid dates where there is lot of competition. Ibig ko pong sabihin nito, wag po tayong gagawa ng mga ano po, ng mga events na meron pang event na na nangyayari. Like for example, meron kang training during the fiesta. 'Di ba po? Parang everyone is everyone is excited with the fiesta, lalo na dito sa Ozongan. So pag gagawa ka ng training during the fiesta days, parang parang nakakalungkot naman dun sa mga participants. Baka nga gumawa pa sila ng reason, or they going to have their reasoning out na hindi ako makakapunta kasi ganito, madami kaming bisita, ganito, ganyan. So avoid the dates where there is lot of competition. Now, public holidays and events, like for example, yung mga holidays natin, wag natin ilalagay yan sa mga ganong dates kasi nga, lalo na sa atin, that we're working during weekdays, lalo na pag tumaon pa ng weekdays yan, tapos yun pa yung holiday, kukunin mo pa for training, parang syempre, pahinga din yun, sayang. So that's reason, one of the tips to set dates po. And then, pay attention to important dates. Ibig po sabihin, when you're going to have event that is related to important dates. For example po, meron po tayong mga fire month. So, kung meron ka pong gagawin na seminars related to fire prevention, so dapat dun ka sa month na yun, di ba po? And then, if you're going to have this Women's Month, yun po yung mga tinitake consider natin. Tapos yung mga about nutrition, yun yung mga dates na dapat titingnan natin if those events are related to that. So that's why you have to pay attention to important dates. And then think about potential days of the week. Alam niyo po ba na ang dates na dapat natin daw i-consider based on researches na when you're going to set training, seminars, events, or other events, workshops, ay dapat ay Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Those are the days na dapat tayo mag-consider ng when we are planning an event because everyone is excited with the weekends. So, parang inisip na lang natin na, okay, let the work be done. Pero pag ilalagay mo siya ng Monday, hindi siya applicable. Yun po yung tatawag namin na worst day of an event. Kasi nga po, kakagaling lang ng weekend, syempre, we have this kind of Monday, sickness, parang ayaw natin parang, at saka ito po yung yung start of the week. So, ibig sabihin, ayan na maraming kliyente, madaming gagawin, because whatever you left on Friday, whatever task you left last Friday, kailangan mo siyang start with Monday. So, yun po yun. So, ganun po yung, again, if you're thinking about the potential days of the week, it could be Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Weekends, wag na po natin agawin sa mga natin. Siyempre kasi pahinga na natin yan kasi we do have 5 days working and then weekends is just our rest days. So, yun po. Think about potential days of the week. Next. Steps in selecting a venue. So these are the 6 steps that we're going to consider. Analyze the events need for a venue. Yun po yung sinasabi ko kanina. Do we need to have off-site venue? Kailangan ba natin mag-conduct ng trainings or an event outside our premise? Kasi kung hindi naman, if we can accommodate it, tingnan na lang natin sa on-site. But sometimes, kahit kaya natin maka-accommodate yung mga participants natin on-site, there is a problem. And that is the facility na meron tayo sa venue natin. So, kailangan din natin i-consider yon. So, possible, tingnan natin, that's why it's very important to assess or analyze the venue kasi kung may kulang tayo na facility, for example, meron tayong kulang na mga chairs, kaya natin gumawa ng alternative course of actions. We can have borrow it with barangays, borrow it with other offices, or we can rent, or even we can buy. So those are the alternative course of actions that we consider. But if our premise cannot accommodate the participants, so mag-offsite tayo. So we're going to look for a venue. That's why we have to investigate possible venues for the event. Kaya titingin na tayo, dito na tayo magsascan or magsaselect na tayo, magsascanning na tayo ng possible vendors or suppliers for our venue. Titingnan natin si venue 1, kaya yung 100 packs? Pag hindi, so we go for the venue 2, venue 3. Sometimes ganito nangyayari Si venue 1, hindi niya kaya mag-accommodate ng 100 pero sikip, pero aircon. Si venue 2 naman, kaya niya mag-occupy ng 100 pero electric fan lang ang meron sila. Si venue 3 naman, kaya niya mag-accommodate ng 100 pero wala siyang chairs na available. So titingnan natin yung assessment nun. Saan ba yung best venue for the participants? Ipipilit ba natin yung 100 pero naka-aircon sila? 'Di ba? Ipipilit ba natin yung 100 dun sa venue B na 100 sila pero hindi sila naka-aircon? Pipilit ba natin siya sa venue C pero kulang ang upuan? So depende po 'yan kung saan niyo titingnan. Kasi the next is make site visits to possible venue. So yun yung titingnan natin. To make magkakaroon tayo ng site visit, it's very important too na tingnan natin, we have this kind of assessment. The facilities, do they have parking space? Kasi kung wala naman, kunwari, ang mga participants mo, yung mga heads ng mga organizations, so they have cars, lalo na dito, ang mode of transport, one of the mode of transport, yung vehicle na ginagamit natin is motorcycle. So, syempre, kung meron kang 100 na participants, assume mo na meron ka ding 100 dapat na spaces for motorcycles. Kasi yung iba doon, possible, meron silang car, 'di ba? Meron din silang yung mga other vehicle as well. So titingnan natin yung parking space also. That's very important. Kung mapapansin natin, may ibang event na ang parking space sobrang crowded na. So hindi na nila alam kung saan sila magpo-park. So that's very important. Na nakakalimutan natin minsan na importante pala ang parking space. Dapat it's a part of logistics po kung saan mo dapat where is the proper place for the participants to park their vehicles. And then even po ng facilities, yung katulad ng sabi ko sa tables, chairs, even the ventilations, and yun po, that's precisely with the make site visits to possible venues. And then agree on price and terms. We do have this kind of terms and conditions that we are considering din po. Like for example, na yung ibang event place po na titingnan natin, lalo na pag offsite po, we're going to have event place na di po pwedeng outside food. 'Di ba? Paano pag tight ang budget natin? Tapos ang balak lang natin, ang bibili lang natin ganito. Kunwari C2 and banana cake. Tapos it's just 15 pesos. Pero pagdating naman sa event place, ang pricing na nila sa atin ay 25 pesos. So nag-markup na agad sila ng 10 pesos aside from the fee that we're going to pay for the venue price. So dagdag gastos na naman po para sa atin 'yon. Kaya nga po ang advice ko, pag meron po tayong mga ganitong event, lalo na pa local government unit, gumagawa po tayo ng mga partnership and linkages with the private businesses, lalo na pag mga venue. Ibig sabihin, dito na kami mag-cater, dito na kami every now and then, ito nang pipiliin namin na venue, pero payagan mo kami magdala ng outside. We can bring outside food kasi nga limited ang budget namin. Sometimes nakadepende po yan talaga kung paano mag-negotiate yung coordinator nyo, yung venue coordinator nyo. So it's a way of how you handle this at upon a negotiation. And then make booking and confirm. First, before you make a booking and confirm po, you have to update your head. Sir, ganito, ganyan. Ito po yung venue A, ganito po yung venue B, ganito po yung venue C. Ngayon, titingnan po natin yung advantages and disadvantages of each venue. Tapos, i-discuss po natin sa mga heads natin. So, they decide. They decide po. Hindi po ikaw ang magde-decide, lalo na pag ikaw lang po ay part of the organization at meron ka palang coordinator at saka head. Sila po ang magde-decide kung ano po yung venue na pwede natin gamitin or pwede natin, kukunin natin. After the go signal coming from our coordinators or coming from our head, that's the time that you're going to make a booking and confirm it. And then after that, step 6, make further site visits. From now and then, hindi naman araw-araw magsa-site visit ka. Hindi naman po ganun. You have your initial site visit and then pupunta ka po doon para sa make booking and confirm. Tapos i-discuss nyo ulit po yung terms and conditions. And then after that, 48 hours, 3 days before or a day before the event, kailangan po natin mag-site visit. Next, please. And then step 5, don't worry po, hanggang step 8 lang yan. Step 5, create an event master plan. And then, ito po yung master plan natin. So, anong gagawin natin? What are the plans or what are the part of plans that we are going to consider? The venue, logistics, catering management, dapat ano po tayo ng contracts, permits, if there is insurance or etc. Dapat po meron tayo nito na secure na po natin to at we're kailangan o kaya dapat before naka-ready na po natin to yung mga contracts, permits, and insurance, and etc. Yung mga documents po. Kasi nga, lalo po tayo, when we do a negotiation or partnership, kailangan po natin ng contracts at saka ng contract po. So, yun. Speakers and presenters, identifying, confirming, logistics, and management. Now, kung ang speakers nyo lang naman po ay taga-Ojongan, no need for you to bother for his or her logistics, yung transportation niya, wala naman pong problema. So, mag-identify ka ng who are the potential speakers na pwede natin kunin and then ask them, confirm them, sir, pwede ko po ba, ma'am, pwede ko po ba na maging speaker namin? And then once you have your confirmation, you update your heads, you update your coordinators that you already have your speakers. And then activities and entertainment. So it's very important as well. Ano yung mga dapat natin gawin when it comes to having your programs? What is the flow of your programs? What are the activities? Kung minsan nga yung event natin, may mga pakulo pa na we have icebreakers, meron pa tayong mga ganito-ganyan. Share ko lang din po na one of our events, lalo na when it comes to school, napapansin po namin kasi yung mga bata, hindi na sila excited for school event. So, anong ginagawa namin? Marami kaming for entertainment na ginagawa. We have suppliers coming from na photo booth, yung mga activities na they can be excited on, na pupunta sila sa mga school activities namin. So, dapat titingnan din natin. Kaya nga I heard last time na meron yun sa sa public court. Actually, pumunta din po yung anak ko na I love the concept na may playground doon. Tapos, yung mga kids na they're going there to have their vaccination. So, maganda po yung ganong concept. Very nice and very, creative na yung mga bata. Hindi sila may inip kasi nga, para kang naglagay ng maraming bata sa isang covered court. Tapos lahat sila nag-iiyakan kasi nga wala namang ginagawa. Tapos yung hindi pa well ventilated. So ang ginawa po, it's very good job po 'yon. Gumawa nga po ng maraming na may mga doon playground and they have lots of snacks. So yung mga kids, tuwang-tuwa, nag-iyakan na lang sila. Bakit? Kasi ayaw na umalis ng ibang bata sa playground. So ibig sabihin 'yon, that is a success dahil yung bata ayaw umalis sa lugar na 'yon. So it seems like a happy place for them. That's a very good concept po. And then Publicity and promotion, yan. We can have it online or offline. We can have it on webpage, online promotion, event calendars, printed programs, media, relation signage, or social media. So we can have this kind of publicity and promotion. So, ayan, kailangan din natin yan so that we can inform others that we have this kind of event na ginagawa. And then, registration, most of the time when we have this kind of webinar, online registration na lang. So that's precisely. And then if there is a payment, tracking, on-site sign-in, yan. Depende po yan kung ang registration nyo ay may bayad. Yan. So they have to sign up payment. And then, on-site signing, yun po yung registration na pipila ka, tapos ano ka ng pipirma ka po. That is as part of registration to. And sponsor and partner management, those are the linkages that we're considering. That's the related sa atin, related sa event natin. So, it could possible. Kung hindi man related, kung sino man, that's good. Kasi meron kang partner or linkages that can help you in other ways. You can promote, you know, that's something to do with that. Next is, now step 6, even though you'll come up with a contingency plan, even though you'll work really hard to make sure that your event goes according to plan, it's still better to prepare for all possible outcomes. This will allow you to develop a strategy for handling potential unforeseen challenges. So, yung contingency plan po natin, sabi nga nila, if plan A didn't work, don't worry. There are other alphabets. So, ibig sabihin, ganun ka dapat gumawa ng plano. You have your plan A, plan B, and plan C. You cannot just stick with plan A. Kasi nga, whatever, hindi mo, there are things that are not unpredictable. So, dapat meron kang contingency plan, plan A, plan B, plan C. For example, nagkaroon ka po ng seminar, and then, alam mo naman na merong there is a bad weather today. So may possible na magkaroon ng power interruptions. So pag nagkaroon po ng ganun ng power interruptions, may possibility na magkaroon ng power interruptions. Dapat prepare ka na for yung rechargeable na speaker po para kahit po na magkaroon ng brownout, walang power, walang electricity, nagkaroon ng power interruptions, okay lang kasi the seminar can go kasi meron ka pong nakahanda na tawag dito, rechargeable speaker. So, na maririnig naman lahat. Kasi kung iisipin nyo, if we have this kind of seminar, tapos sabi natin, so, hintayin natin magkaroon ng power interruption, paupuin mo muna si speaker, pakainin mo muna, ganito, ganyan. Eh, hindi natin nalaman, 5 hours pala yung power interruptions. So, ibig sabihin, hanggang gabi tayo, or are we going to reschedule the seminar because of the power interruptions? Pag tinuloy naman natin yun, na wala tayong backup plan, yung hindi na siya conducive for learning. Ibig sabihin, the imparting of knowledge, hindi na siya makukuha ng audience natin. So, mawawala yung goals and objectives natin to impart knowledge or impart understanding para sa mga participants natin. Next, please. Take a moment before the big day to review your event itinerary and consider any details you might have missed. So it's very important to rescan, to recheck your checklist or your master plan. Napaka-importante po yun. Lalo na, you can even see it in your timeline also. Kasi yung master plan mo rin naman, may timeline din po yun eh. So makikita mo agad doon what are the tasks that are not yet completed. Pag hindi pa completed, let's go back to step 6. You have your contingency plan. That's yung matatawag nating alternative course of actions. Yan, kailangan natin magkaroon ng plan A, plan B, plan C. Yun po, kailangan natin ng mga ganong circumstances or ganong plans para ma-identify natin o para meron po.
Hello, Ma'am Krish.
Yes po.
Shopee po.
Okay po. So, again, yan, okay na po. Ayan, when it comes to step 7, yan. When it comes to step 7 po, just going to, to recall, review your little extra list. So take a moment before the big day to review your event itinerary and consider any detail you might have missed. So that's why it's very important po na you have to recheck or to rescan your checklist. What are the things that you have missed? What are the things that you have hindi pa natatapos? Ano ba yung mga dapat nating gawin? There is certain problem that arises, at least you have your go back to step 6 na you have your contingency plan. You do have plans na kung paano mo siya gagawin. So next, this is the sample list to prepare 48 hours in advance. Usually, you can have 48 hours po bago yung event nyo. Ito po yung mga kinukonsider natin. So, reach out to attendees with a reminder, whether you can have it through emails, through Facebook, or through text messages. You can do that just to remind the attendees na meron kayong upcoming event. We are glad, we are happy to see you on our event, ganito, ganyan. So that's something to reaching out. At least naalala mo siya before your event. And then check the setup of your venue and do a walkthrough. Yan yung kanina natin sa step 6 doon sa set your event venue na you have to walk through. Kailangan natin magkaroon ng site visit. And then, set up room space that will act as your command center. Kung mapapansin nyo po, pag gumagawa tayo ng event, meron tayo dong whether we do have a room or we do have a table, doon po lahat ng organizers. So yun po yung tinatawag natin na command center. Ibig sabihin, doon po pumupunta pag may problema o kaya may inquiries, concerns yung mga participants, they can easily see you. So yun po yung command center. And then check the weather forecast and prepare accordingly. Yung weather forecast po, nakikita naman po siya sa Google. Actually, pag 5 days, ang pag 5 days forecast, 90% po ang ano nun, ang accuracy. Pag 7 days po, 80% ang accuracy. Pag more than 10 days po, half ang accuracy nun. So, ibig sabihin, pag tinignan mo siya, kunwari ang event mo ay on Saturday, today is Thursday. So, pag titingnan mo yung weather forecast today o para sa Saturday, so makikita mo siya 90% accurate po yun. Pero kung titingnan mo siya on the next week, depende po sa date na gusto nyo. If it's, you count on 7 days, it will be 80% accuracy. And if it's more than 7 days or 10 days, it could be half accuracy lang po. So, kailangan po natin ma-identify yung weather forecast. So, touch base with your team to make sure everyone is on the same page. Yan, magkakaroon po tayo ng communication. Magkakaroon po tayo, oh, how's your day? Ano, kamusta? You can have short meeting on reports about the task that they have, kung they do have problems or mga concerns, yan. It's very important communication. It's very important yung communication sa organization. And then check in with vendors and deliveries. Yan. Yung vendors po, suppliers po ang ibig sabihin yan. And then confirm speakers and special guests. Yan. Kasi mamaya, biglang nag-back out yung speaker natin. Merong ganun po. Nagba-back out bigla yung speaker because of personal reasons. So at least within 48 hours, kaya mo pa makagawa ng paraan. 'Di ba? So that's why it's ahead of time. Kung 48 hours go, kung more than 48 hours, 48 hours, more than 48 hours, sige po, pwede. Kaya nga 3 days yan eh. Anyway, and then, 48, di pala, 4 days. And then, anyway, double check your event checklist. Yan. So that's why you do have the checklist dapat po when you're going to have your event planning. And then charge and check all technological equipment. Yan po yung sinasabi natin. Like for example, yung laptop nyo, pag gagamit po ba kayo ng laptop, so mamaya kasi gamitin natin yung laptop, tawag dito, half charge siya. So ibig sabihin malapit na siya malopat. So tapos wala pa tayong dalang another laptop. Tapos wala din dalang laptop yung speaker. So paano yun? So mga problema tayo, biglang magpo-pause yung natin, magpo-pause yung seminar natin because of wala tayong contingency plan. And then prepare kit of day of supplies. extra pens, highlighters, paper, USB drivers, chargers, extension cords, and etc. Now, these are the small things na kailangan mong i-keep in mind too, na hindi rin dapat natin dinidisregard. Kasi possible na yung speaker, may ganitong instance po eh. Yung laptop ng speaker, wala siya yung for AVG. So problema natin, wala din tayong connector for that. Kasi yung, yung AVG, yung butas-butas po sa gilid sa laptop. So yun po. So wala ding internet. So anong gagawin natin? So ibo-bluetooth natin. Medyo matagal compared kung meron kang USB drive na mahawak, 'di ba po? Ngayon, extension cords. Kahit hindi naman natin kailangan kahit na meron extension cords si venue, still kailangan pa rin natin magdala for an extra, 'di ba po? So hindi naman ganoon kabigat po yung extension cord. Ngayon, yung mga extra pens, for example, meron kang 100 na pens for participants, kailangan mo pa rin po magkaroon ng extra, at least 20 extra pens, yun. So, yun po yung ibig ko sabihin. Next. This is an example po ng ginawa ko na ginagamit ko rin po when it comes to for our event. So ang ginagawa po natin dito, it is a task table. Kung mapapansin niyo po, ito na po yung program, pero yung pinagkaiba nga lang po, hindi po yung mga speakers ang nakalagay dyan, kundi yung person in charge. So ibig sabihin, 5 to 6, rechecking the facility in the venue, AV setup. Ibig sabihin po, masyado namang maaga naman yan. Yes po, dapat po maaga po tayo. Kung 8 o'clock po yung start ng program natin, hindi po dapat 8 o'clock din po ang organizers pumunta. Sabi nga po namin sa tourism industry, when you are on time, it means you're late. Yun po ibig sabihin namin. Kasi nga, dapat ahead of time ka pupunta. It's not time that the same time na pupunta ka. Dapat nga 3 hours before the event, dapat nandun ka na eh. Kasi nga, it's when you're early, tapos nagkaroon ng problema, may enough time ka to resolve it. Yan. And then, 6 to 7, quick coordination meeting, magkakaroon kayo, mag-gather lang kayo, ganito, ganyan. So you have to recall. Tapos rediscuss ulit. O itong gagawin natin, don't forget, ganito, ganyan. Pray tayo, ganito, ganyan. Tapos, let's discuss the flow of the program in the entire day. And then after that, ayan, kung 7 to 8, registration, may taong nakalagay dyan. Dapat, kasi nga, sabi nga natin kanina, when you're assigning task or selecting team, it's the sense of accountability. Para alam natin kung sino, hindi po yung sino yung sa registration, hindi po yung kahit sino na lang na available. Dapat meron pong person in charge. Na, kung mapapansin nyo, di ba si ano yun? Asan na yung food? Sino nakasign sa food? Sino nakasign sa food? May mga ganun kaming naririnig. Kung meron ka na pong naka-assign na tao, na yun lang ang gagawin niya, hindi na tayo magkakaroon ng ganun na panic session during the event natin. So, next please. Step 8, have an evaluation. This is the last step po. Have an evaluation of your event. Every feedback matters. Tandaan po natin that when it comes to strategic management po, planning, implementation, and evaluation, these are the 3 steps when it comes to strategic management. Now, kahit saan naman po na organization, feedbacks are very important. Even it is within internal feedbacks or external feedbacks. Ibig ko sabihin po that feedbacks matters whether it is positive or negative. Actually, yung negative feedbacks, dapat masaya natin siyang tatanggapin because the negative feedbacks, it represents a room for development and room for improvement. Huwag natin siyang i-take na for grudges. Ayoko na mag-ano ng event. Ayoko na mag-handle ng event. Akala mo naman kung sino sila, ganun. So, it's not about like that. It's a room for improvement. Hindi tayo, para alam natin. Kaya nga, di ba, for us to see the dirt in our face, we need a mirror. So, yung feedbacks po, yun yung mirror natin. Magsasabi sa atin na, okay, hindi maayos yung food. O the next time around, dapat yung food maayos na, ganito, ganyan. O kaya the next time around, they're not even happy with your supplier. So, ibig sabihin, the next time around, sasabihin mo si supplier, hindi sila masaya sa ganito, ganyan. O ayaw nila ng ganito, ayaw nila ng sito at banana cake. So, ganito, dapat ganito na. So, you can have those kind of improvement. Kasi po, banana cake at saka sito lang po pinapakain namin sa mga estudyante namin. Limited lang po kasi budget ng org namin. So, yun po yung example ko. So, anyway, so yun po, the next time around, you have your, and then, even in your organization na, nag-conduct po kayo ng trainings or seminars na ayaw nyo na, ayaw ko na doon sa venue na yun, mainit. Gusto ko sa sa tawag nito, sa aircon, ganito, ganyan. Kung minsan nga, nalilito na tayo mga event organizers or event planners. Kapag sobrang init, nagrereklamo yung participants. Pag sobrang lamig naman, nagrereklamo din sila. So, pakihinaan yung aircon. Diba? Hindi mo alam kung saan ka magpuposisyon. Pero lagi natin tatandaan, we are in this part of this event management because we serve people to make them happy, and then we plan events and we create events to make their moments special and experiences be a memorable one. So yun po ang inaano natin sa event management, kasi nga po for my finale, hindi po tayo gumagawa ng events para lang makagawa. We do events para ma-satisfy po yung participants natin, client natin, at para ma-achieve natin yung goals and objectives. Kasi malamang po, part of goals and objectives natin is to make our participants satisfied. So, again, next slide po. Thank you po. Thank you for listening and hoping na meron po kayong natutunan sa akin. So, again, good morning everyone. Thank you LGU Ojongan for inviting me.
Ayan. So, thank you so much, Ma'am Krishna. Okay. May mga napulot po ba tayo sa mga ating mga LGU employees? So, ayun. Ano ko lang yung mga sinabi kanina ni Ma'am Krish, no? Yung mga objectives daw na kailangan nating yung objective should always be, ano dapat yon? Ano yung mga acronyms nun? Objective should be SMART. Yung pinakaunang sinabi kanina ni Ma'am Krish. Objective should be SMART, which means specific, measurable, agreed, realistic, and time. Ayan. So, nag-discuss din si Ma'am Krish ng mga differences about seminars and conferences, trainings and workshop, and yung mga comparison nun sa bawat isa at yung mga meaning ng bawat trainings, yun, workshop, seminars, yung mga nangyayari yung mga events na nangyayari dito sa LGU. Ayan. So, nagkaroon din ng discussion about steps in planning event management from step 1 to step 8. Ayan po. So, malinaw naman po ba sa ating mga participants yung ating discussion for today? So ayun no, nakakatulong talaga ang topic natin for today kasi hindi natin naiisip yung mga ganitong topic kasi gumagawa na lang tayo ng event basta lang tayo makagawa. Kaya so binasabi natin, seminar lang naman yan, training lang naman yan, ganito lang yan, simple lang. Pero hindi natin alam, meron tayong mga lapses, no, na kailangan na makita with that. Kailangan everything is planned and everything it should be organized. Hindi po pwedeng basta-basta po tayo. Lalo na po nasa LGU po tayo yung baseline ng buong Ojongan. So dapat mataas din yung standard natin pagdating sa events management. Ayan, thank you so much po Ma'am Krishna Vicente for having us for today, for being our speaker. So ayan, proceed na po tayo sa ating meron po bang concern? May tanong po ba ating mga participants bago po tayo mag-proceed sa awarding ng certificate? Sa ating mga participants, baka po may tanong po or clarification dun sa ating webinar. Wala naman po ba? Meron po po ba? May tanong po? Baka may tanong po kayo kung para saan po ito.
Pwede niyo rin po i-chat yung mga questions niyo sa yung call messages natin. Yung nahihiya kayo open mic.
Ayan.
Mukhang wala ata. Sige po.
Mukhang okay naman po at
Nahihiya
mali.
ako nga. Pero ang na siguro ako siguro may tanong po ako no. Like, pag malakihang event, kasi sinasabi mo kanina, parang at least 6 months pag sa
6 to 12.
conference or conventions. Pagka ganun, ma'am, is siyempre hindi lang naman conference or conventions ang events na malaki. Like, kagaya, fiesta. Kasi
Yes po.
minsan ay more than a week celebration siya. Or like, kahit for example, nutrition month yung nakaraan ng 1 month celebration from barangay level to municipal level, tapos may mga din pa. Yung preparation itself is parang same din ba yung period of preparation?
Yes, sir. Actually, yung conference nga, 6 to 12 months, pero it can last for few days. Eh, yung fiesta natin dito, it seems like it's a month long. Ito talaga yung hinihintay ng mga Ojonganon and other municipalities. Kung mapapansin mo, ang dami pong pumupunta dito. That's why the LGU Tourism Office did a great job po. Lalo na, they're doing a great job every fiesta. Kung mapapansin nyo, ang dami pumupunta po dito coming from different LGUs, different people, coming from different municipalities. I think the tourism office, kung mapapansin natin, I think they planned it ahead of time, couple of months. Para nga siguro, nagpaplano na siya for next year eh. Kasi ganun siya, yung the tourism office set the standards eh pagdating sa pag-handle ng festa. Kung mapapansin nyo, saan ka nakakita na talagang nakalock yung isang way for food stuff lang. And then that's something to do with that it's I think Ma'am Gabat, am I right? Planning it ahead of time. Kung it's a 6 to 12, I think, pero dahil nga paulit-ulit niya series niya po ginagawa, siguro yung una, medyo matagal. Ngayon, because she's an expert na po of what she's doing, yan, na lang yan, palital ng palital yung timetable niya po. So again, 6 to 12 months po ang paggawa natin ng events. Even those kind of social events po like fiesta. Yan po.
Ayan. So, idagdag ko lang yung about sa selection ng date and venue. Siguro ano din natin yung mga ibang events, i-consider din natin yung mga magiging kasabay nating events. Just like now, meron kaming kasabay 9 to 10 AM sa Bulwagan, no? Yung financial I don't know kung anong topic. About financial po siya yung ating webinar ngayon. So, yun lang. So wala nang question sa ating mga participants. May pa po ba? Since medyo mahaba pa po yung oras natin, baka may tanong po kayo.
Yun nga, sir. Yun yung sinasabi natin na when you're planning an event or set a date, it's very important na wala kang kakompetisyon. Katulad nyo, na participants, hindi nyo alam kung saan kayo pupunta eh. Na-attend ba ako nito? A-attend ba ako ng ganyan? So that's basically na dapat yung i-consider. Yan po yung kailangan natin i-take note when it comes to having this kind of planning. Yun po.
Ayun. Thank you so much, ma'am. Yes, sir. Any additional, Sir Ivan? Mayroon pa po ba?
Additional siguro, yung important is getting feedbacks doon sa ating participants, sa ating stakeholders. Kahit nga, siguro, yung mga part ng committee, working committee, to make sure na talaga, everything is considered after the event. No? Tapos gagawa na action that after. Para the future events, magagawa natin ng paraan. So, ayun po.
So, okay. Mukhang clear na rin ata sa ating mga participants yung topic for today. So, may isi-send po ako sa ating chat box yung step 8 po. Yung step 8 ng event natin. So ano yung ating step 8 by is yung step 8 po natin is have an evaluation of your event. Every feedback matters. So ayan, isi-send ko po ngayon yung feedback form, yun yung link po. Kailangan po mag-fill up lahat ng naka-attend ng webinar ngayong morning. Ayan po, nandyan na po yung link. And okay, we'll proceed po sa ating awarding of certificate. Okay, Sir Ivan. May I call in Sir Ivan for the awarding of Certificate of Appreciation to Ma'am Krishna Vicente?
Hello po. Sige, Trey, i-present na po. Trey, next slide, please.
Ayun na po. Doon, naka-ano. Yan.
Ayan, sige. Republic of the Philippines, Province of Romblon, Municipality of Ajongan, a certificate of appreciation is awarded to Krishna Vicente for sharing her valuable knowledge as a resource speaker at the recently concluded webinar, Basics of Event Management, on August 3, 2023, held via Google Meet. This will be signed by me, Ivan John C. Periol, Internal Auditor, and signed by our Municipal Mayor, Trina Alejandra Q. Formalo Fabi. So, ma'am, yung certificate po namin ay bibigay po namin sa inyo within this week po. Ma'am, sige po. Salamat po. Thank you po, ma'am.
Okay, so ito, balikan po natin yung attendance and feedback form. So yung mga participants po, ayan po yung ating link. Yes, Ma'am Krish, mayroon pa pong additional.
Wala naman po. So thank you very much, Sir Ivan and the LGU Ojongan for inviting me as your speaker. So again, maraming salamat po.
Opo,
Okay,
welcome po, ma'am.
wala muna mag-leave. Mag-ano muna tayo,
Already,
mag-picture last time
picture
for the last
taking
time.
na tayo, no?
Mag-open cameras po lahat para for the last time po, kung kompleto pa yung kanina nating ayan, si Ma'am Nedina Grimares from Office of the Vice Mayor, Agriculture's Office. Ready na po? Okay. Wait lang po. 1, 2, 3. Smile. Tama po. 1, 2, 3. Smile. Ayan. Okay. Thank you so much po. See you next time. Thank you, Ma'am Chris.
Thank you po, Ma'am Krishna. So, guys, don't forget po na yung feedback form. Click the link sa messages po natin. Thank you po.
Sign in ka po, Ma'am.
Ba't hindi po siya kapasok?
Email nyo po, ma'am. Mag-sign in po kami. Kailangan email nyo po yung gamit.